Okay, so this is all about sort of celebration end of the week for Race Equality Week, and it's a chance to share and reflect with each other because I know a lot of you have been working on your own and in isolation on that. Next slide. For those that don't know me, I'm Javid Thomas of the Collaboratory, and along with Raj Tulsiani, CEO of Green Park, we co-founders of Race Equality Matters. He couldn't make today's event, but he want to say hello to you, and he's going to watch the recording. I'll send to him as a Christmas present box set. Okay, so thank you for all joining us to celebrate the end of what has been a fantastic week across the UK and beyond. It's been great to have so much interest and support throughout the week, and today is no exception. Today's attendees are local. What we ask you is where are you located, and it's local and abroad. So we got from Cleveland to Cardiff, Gravesend to Gothenburg, Munich to Manchester, and Sacramento to Solihull. All week we've actually had people from the Far East, but not today. So maybe they've had their week. But it's lovely to see such diverse representation here as well. So welcome all. Before we start, a bit of housekeeping to support you all. And as you may know, to help make our events more accessible, when registering, we ask you for some accessibility arrangements so we can try and offer some support. We do try to our best to meet your needs. So please bear in mind our limited resources. Closed captioning is enabled in the main session, and there is a captioning tool for the breakout, which we will put in the link now, but also later. The event is being recorded, but not the breakout session. So you can get a copy of today's event and will be made available for you to access most probably late next week. Your sound is auto-disabled at the moment, so please share any ideas and questions in the chat, and we'll do our best to respond these. You'll be unmuted once you go into the breakouts. When you come out of the breakout, the chat can be extremely busy because we'll ask you a couple of questions. So if you've got some accessibility tool, it may ping a lot, so you may want to turn that sound off. Please do tweet and post social media content during and after the event so we can keep this Race Equality Week buzz going. The handles are Race Equality Week 2025, REW25, and Every Action Counts. We need to amplify this and get more people to do, because hopefully you're here today. It's been wonderful, but we need more people, more organizations engaged. Okay. Next slide, please. Today's session is interactive, and this is some of the stuff that organizations and people have been doing. They're proud to support. It's a free tool, whether yourself or your organizations want to do that. So please feel free to do that. As you know, we try to make our sessions interactive. So to get the most out of it, we will keep it going. So we have a State of the Nation polls. We've got expert speakers from organizations that drove Every Action Counts, the theme this year. There will be collaborative discussion where you can share your week's activity and future plans. We'll exclusively share a brand new AI tool in development Green Park to support your diversity work. And also we'll share some of the highlights of the week we've gathered so far. So thank you all for posting and sharing. And this is why you've all come. What is the date for Race Equality Week next year? Next year. Okay. So, and we'll finish at 1:15. Okay. Thank you very much. We thought we might get 50 plus ideas, but prove us wrong. Sorry, 30 plus ideas, but prove us wrong. Let's try and get 50 so I can get rid of that cross and make it 50 plus ideas at the end of what did your organization do during Race Equality Week, so we can collate it and share it with you all. Okay. Thank you very much. And this is what you'll get at the end. So we'll collate all the ideas, and then you'll get a nice document, which will basically some highlights from today's event. And also here you are, sort of 30 to 50 ideas of what you can do for Race Equality Week next year. And we know lots of organizations do use this. Okay, thank you. What we'd also like, if a few of you can stay behind for 5 minutes, we'd just love to do a quick video footage of how has Race Equality Week been for you. We'd love some sound bites that we can use for future. So we've got a little video today that will show some sound bites, but we want to hear your voices, and that's really important for us. So thank you for that. As you know, for those that know, we create solutions which you've been using throughout the week. We'll find out how many of you have been using them. It's on our website and they're free. We also run virtual events throughout the year for you. As you can see, our solutions are all about making an impact, and we're always getting feedback. Is it working? How can we make them better? So, we go through a lot of work with the community, and they're built with the community for the community. Okay. What's crucial is, as I said, there's free solutions you can get. So go on our website to access this. We can't provide all this for free without the support of our key partners. So we've got Green Park and Lloyd's, who power Race Equality Week and fund it to enable it all this to be free. And then also a big thank you to our other partners, Auto Trader, HS2, Amy, Direct Line Group, Edelman, Network Rail, and CMS. So we're not for profit, so we do need organization support. This is actually our fifth. I was quite surprised about that Race Equality Week. And unfortunately, we're not in a position to keep offering everything for free throughout the year as we used to. So how can you help? You're all shouting out. So there's a few choices. One is become a funding commercial partner, get some marketing benefits like these organizations. And can I just let you say, just because you're a funding partner doesn't mean you can speak at events. You can only speak at our events if you've done something that's meaningful. Okay, so just to clarify that you don't pay to get on stage, as they say. Alternatively, you can help us help you. So if your organization has a budget, we've got a Race Equality Matters expertise where we can come in and run our solutions for you. So you know the solutions they're available, but sometimes people want our support to help it happen. So we can offer that for you, and obviously that raises some funds for us. As someone said, these sessions are a powerful way to help us nurture the understanding and empathy. And that is the first step to creating change in our organization. Okay, so it really works. The third way you can help us is we now have a Race Equality Matters membership program to support you. There are 135 organizations. I think it's increased about 13% in the last few days. Membership provides additional support through exclusive access. You can get early access to resources, including the 2026 5-day challenge. No, we haven't built it yet, but you'll be the first to get it. You can use our logo. There's exclusive events, which we'll be talking about later, insights and ideas, a whole range of things like that. So that's available for yourselves. We've valued it, and it adds up to at least £5,000 plus. Some organizations say it's worth £10,000 they get from it, but we're currently offering it for £599 for an annual membership and access to it. And it's more than just yourself will be able to access it from your organization. And there's a 10% discount available until Monday. As someone said to you, you know, this is really cheap for what we're getting from it. So please do have a look at that. So the 10% discount for those that are on budget is coming to the end of financial year. So again, it's a good chance to utilize it. So if you're interested in joining over 130 org members, please just let us know some of your thoughts in this quick poll. Thank you.
54% of people classified themselves as being ethnically diverse or appropriate equivalent. 42% as an ally. 27% of people said they were DE&I specialists, 21% race network members, 14% race network leads, 12% HR, 33% other, and 9% senior leader. 68% of people said their organisation had taken part in Race Equality Week. 78% of people said Race Equality Week was the same or more impactful or significantly more impactful than other D&I initiatives. 40% of your organisations had participated in Race Equality Week before. 28% had taken part in just one event. 26% for two, 12% had taken part in 3 events, and 13% had taken part in 4 events. 50% of you had said that your organisation talks and does a little bit of action in addressing race inequality. 31% of you focuses on actions, not just words. 60% of you were doing the 5-day challenge during Race Equality Week. 15% of you, my name is. 14% the big promise. 42% of you said that your organisation has done something noticeable in tackling race inequality. 47% of you said that your organisation makes tackling race inequality everyone's business. 49% of you had implemented the 5-day challenge. 23% of you, my name is.
So the reason I'm wearing purple is this weekend, the writer Alice Walker, it's her birthday, or would have been her birthday, of the writer of The Colour Purple. So, for those that don't know about her, when she was a kid, she got blinded, and her parents bought her a typewriter. Where the rest of her, I think she's a family of 8 or 10. Apologies for the numbers wrong, but they used to do work hard and chores and labor. So, what her parents wanted to do, gave her a typewriter, and that's how she became. They wanted to give her a chance, a writer. What she also then, she's in from Mississippi, and she was the first. She married a white person, and she's the first interracial marriage ever in Mississippi. So she broke the mold and went again. And can you imagine, what that would have been like? And obviously, from the film, she's made Color Purple, which was won the Pulitzer Prize, and I think she's the first Black writer to win the Pulitzer Prize. So on these things, it's basically the theme for race equality is every action counts. So, if a family hadn't made that effort and take away from the chores of the work and given the typewriter, if she hadn't broken the mold in marrying, being the first interracial, so she broke barriers. So, you can imagine the uncomfort she went, but she's made a real change on that side. So that's the first reason why I'm wearing purple today. It's her birthday this weekend. Okay, next slide. Thank you. Which leads us nicely into it's all about learning and finding out more. So if we just introduce the 5-day challenge where we learn things like this.
RaceEqualityMatters.com, Race Equality Week, powered by Green Park and Lloyds of London, from the 3rd to the 9th of February 2025. Hashtag Every Action Counts. What are you doing for Race Equality Week 2025?
It's Pete Miles from the Environment Agency, and I'm doing the 5-day challenge.
I'm Gaia from ThoughtWorks, and I'm doing the 5-day challenge.
Hi, I'm Jabba Thomas from Race Equality Matters. I'm doing the 5-day challenge. I hope you are too.
So what is the 5-day challenge? 5 challenges that take 5 minutes, 5 days to change the world. 5 daily challenges, each with a daily theme. An eye-opener for each day. And videos for each theme. And each challenge takes just 5 minutes. What is good about the 5-day challenge?
What was really good about the 5-day challenge was that it was bite-sized challenges. That was really helpful for us because people are very pushed for time. But at the same time, the feedback that we had via survey afterwards was very good. People still felt that it was very thought-provoking, it was educational, and people felt that it had both a positive impact both on them and the organisation. In particular, feedback we had was that people felt more confident in calling out racism and being more actively anti-racist, which is brilliant.
87% believe it will have an impact. Thousands of organisations did the 5-day challenge, reaching over 1 million employees.
Green Park are doing the 5-day challenge.
It also happened across the world.
سلام من شکوه هستم از و من
我會做5日嘅挑戰。
Hi, Mokumia Blaze Nanji Mofa a CDW. Morgen the challenge in Garnier Tan.
Ich mache die 5 Tage Herausforderung.
Individuals were taking the 5-day challenge.
Hi, I'm Cara from Coleg y Cymoedd and I'm doing the 5-day challenge.
I'm Clark from High Speed 2 and I'll be doing the 5-day challenge.
Hello, my name's Tune. I'm a DEI consultant for Work Gym and I'm doing the 5-day challenge. Hope you are too.
And collectively.
Doing the 5-day challenge.
So hopefully when you go in your breakout groups, you share about that. So what we're going to do is talk more about what happened during Race Equality Week. And now's a fantastic time to hear from our first speaker. I'm delighted to introduce you to the wonderful Faiza Rumani, who's from our fantastic partners, Network Rail. They are actually silver trailblazers for Race Equality Matters. So these have been decided by the community. So hi, Faiza.
Hiya.
Yeah, good to hear you. Thank you. So Faiza's an equity, diversity, inclusion specialist with extensive experience in the transportation sector. So if we just go into the first question, Faiza, thank you. What did Network Rail do during Race Equality Week?
Yeah, so this week we have a network of over 2,400 EDI champions. So these are people who put themselves forward as wanting to do more to promote and support all different minority colleagues in the workplace. And each day during the week, we sent out a newsletter to our EDI champions on each of the 5-day challenge topics with a little bit of guidance of what they can do if they've got 5 minutes, what they can do if they've got 10 minutes, what they can do if they've got an hour, and how they can also have conversation with their team about it. So some prompts that they can do to have that conversation. So we kind of took what you guys have produced with the materials and kind of made it our own and made it also relevant to Network Rail and our specific kind of context that we have as well. We also did several sessions throughout the week. So we did some virtual sessions on privilege, inclusive language and code switching for days 2, 3 and 4. And I'll tell you a little bit more about those sessions and how they went in a second. And also we're trying to work more collaboratively on EDI across the industry as well, because we recognize that a lot of industry organizations have similar challenges in terms of their culture and working in infrastructure. And so we ran an event with an organization called REW25 for Inclusion, which is all about inclusion in the rail industry. And that had panel discussions with senior leaders from across the industry. And the key theme that we were pushing was every action counts. So it was about taking action from some of the conversations that we had last year following the race riots and the feedback that we'd had during Interfaith Week and also South Asian Heritage Month. So it was taking those learnings and actually showing the action that we've taken as a response to things that we heard during those sessions.
Thank you. And I see some of the stuff Rail Unites does, which is brilliant. And what I love, the solutions like 5-day challenge being co-created with the community, and it's there and it's kind of used as is beneficial. So I love the way you've adapted it. So thank you for sharing that. And hopefully it's an idea many of you in the room today can look at. What impact do you think race equality has had or will have?
So I think that one of the things I put in the chat when you asked earlier was I feel like this year we've had some of the most inclusive conversations ever. And I think part of the reason for that was that the first topic of the week was intersectionality, which I think was really, really valuable at kind of framing what it is that we're talking about here. I think that some of EDI in the past has been taken quite divisively as it's ethnic minority colleagues against white colleagues, and that can be problematic for what we're trying to do here. But actually having the first topic as being intersectionality was like an appreciation of the fact that everybody has their unique differences and the challenges that they face as they walk through the world. And I think that acknowledgement right at the start really framed and shaped the rest of the conversations that we had throughout the week and made people a lot less defensive. So even when we were talking about privilege, which can be a really charged conversation for people, and we asked people how that word made them feel as well. And there were lots at the start of the session of people saying that they felt guilt, that they felt that word made them feel vilified. So there was lots of like negative connotations around it. But through the conversations and showing that actually what we're talking about here is trying to make the workplace better for every single person from different marginalized communities, that really kind of helped them to put their defensiveness aside and actually realize that this is about all of us and all of us moving forward together as a more inclusive workplace together. So it was really positive. And I think that another thing I wanted to add was that I think that the conversations as well were really valuable, because a lot of the time, while it's really important that we have the policies and the processes in place, which is what we try and make sure we have, we need people to buy into it to make sure that they're applying those things correctly and that they understand when they're working directly with people in their teams and their colleagues, that they're actually representing those inclusive practices and behaving in that kind of a way. And so having these conversations, I think, was a really good part of building that culture around being able to talk about things, being brave to talk about these things in the workplace. And they are workplace conversations that need to be had. So I think that was a really big positive that we took away as well.
Brilliant, thank you. One thing you said about people being defensive, uncomfortable, or pushing back, I think that's a big challenge. And I think a couple of things. So so the 5-day challenge does help people understand people's differences. There's also tea break, which came from Network Rails Culture Fusion Network. So that really helps people understand and lean in more, sort of thing. And then it's not micro. So it's all about we're not criticizing, challenging, blaming. It's all about learning and being more acceptable. Once you can overcome that uncomfortableness, it makes a huge change. So thank you for sharing. That was really important.
Exactly. And the resources were really valuable as well. A lot of people really engaged with the Wheel of Privilege and things as well. And we got a lot of people to kind of reflect and plot where they felt they sat on the Wheel of Privilege as well, to kind of be reflective of their own identity, which was really interesting.
No, thank you. I'm just going to start. Can I just ask you one final question? Is what top tips would you give to other organisations looking to maintain their momentum from Race Equality Week?
Yeah, so I think if you want to retain momentum throughout the year, I would say keep the conversations going. So like what Javid said about tea breaks, keeping those topics happening in place, but to make sure that it's meaningful and that things are happening that are actually going to create the change. I think you need to make sure that your EDI work is embedded into your strategy, it's embedded into where you want to go as an organisation, that you have senior leadership buy-in to make these changes, and also participate in a benchmark if you haven't already, to actually understand your starting point and the things you need to do to create a change. So we took part in the Trailblazer benchmark, which is a really good benchmark because I like that it really talks about engaging your ethnic minority colleagues and bringing them along on the journey that you have with EDI with you, which is a really good thing about the Race Equality Matters Trailblazer. We also do the Investing in Ethnicity benchmark as well, which is good in other ways as well. And then also make sure it's data driven. So we are really keen in Network Rail at making sure that all of our work that we do is backed up by data, because it can be really exhausting to put your effort into things where there aren't actually issues in your organisation. So knowing where your issues are. So are you having a high proportion of ethnic minority colleagues leaving? Is that your challenge, so you don't have an inclusive environment where they can progress? Or is your challenge that you're not doing very well at attracting them in the first place? So knowing where to put your energy will also help to kind of know what you need to do throughout the rest of the year to keep your work going.
Thank you, Faiza. That's brilliant, and we know data is so important for members. If you're a member in our membership hub, there's a section on data actually, so it's worth looking at it. Thank you very much for your time, Faiza. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, brilliant. So, okay, next slide, please, Sam. Thank you. Okay, so the other reason I'm wearing purple today is because it's Big Promise Day. So it's day. So we've had the first 4 days. So day 5 is we've learnt and reflected. It's all about taking action, okay? So because every action counts. So this is all about where we can create meaningful change. And it's clear that lack of accountability and transparency was a big issue. So this has been built by the community. Next slide, please. And there's 7 magnificent promises, and they're different. So if you're an ally or a scene leader, ethnically diverse, or a board ExCo member, there's different set of promises. So there's a tool on our website you can go on to, and it's all free just to pick and select your promises. So let's just hear from Lloyd's of London how they went about it.
Hi, I'm Rachel Turk, and as proud executive sponsor of our MAC network, and as part of Race Equalities Week 2025, I promise to actively sponsor ethnically diverse, especially Black, talent in our workplace.
Hi, I'm Jason Gowlett, Head of HR at Lloyd's. I'm here to talk to you about Race Equality Week. So as part of Race Equality Week, I'll be making 2 promises, one around mentoring and secondly around targets for recruitment and promotions. Firstly, for mentoring, the plan is I will mentor and be reverse mentored myself and encourage my senior managers to do the same. Secondly, I'll be setting stretch targets which are measured for promotions and recruitment, which are tracked monthly.
Hi, I'm Emma Watkins. As part of Race Equalities Week 2025, I promise to call out and challenge racism and microaggressions, and to learn more and proactively act anti-racist.
Thank you, Lloyd. As I said, the big promise is all about being transparent. So they've got the thing on film now. We know what they've promised to do, so we will track them on that. So there you go. And then basically, if you go onto our tool, you get this wonderful little postcard that you can use in social media. It takes less than a minute to do it. You just choose your promise, identify, what role or you are, etc., and then do that. So please do that. And then we want to see a flood of these coming out today and beyond. And it's available all year round. Okay. So thank you very much for that. So we're now delighted to introduce our final speakers, which is John Chan and Samantha Happy from another fantastic partner and Race Quality Matters Trailblazers Auto Trader. John and Samantha, please unmute yourselves. Thank you, John. Samantha. John is a finance leader and co-lead of the Ethnicity Network, and Samantha is a performance manager and also co-lead to the Ethnicity Network. So it's great to have them here today. So if I go to you first, Samantha, sorry, what did Auto Trader do for Race Equality Week 2025?
Hi, and thanks for having us, by the way. In terms of obviously what we did this time round, very much still ran the 5-day challenge. We wanted to change things about because the last time that we did it, we found that actually in terms of participation across Auto Trader, we wanted to increase that. So we essentially did something very different and joined across the whole business. We joined every sort of stand-up or team meeting that each of the teams had to talk to them directly more about what Race Equality Week was, what the purpose was, and also having sort of given them like a heads up beforehand and actively every single day engaging every single team across the whole business, which we found has been very productive in terms of getting that engagement up. And I'll let John share later on what the data looks like, because we are very much about the data from that side. And also just around the big promise. So essentially, and I know that you've touched on it, it's one of those where we want to really make sure that from the big promise that every action, really does count, actually having some actionable measures from it. So we're having the business also reflect, and we're having feedback sessions. So still being involved in those cross collaboration meetings where we're going to the teams and going, what's the outcome? What is the feedback? What is your big promise? So getting some more action rather than the words behind it. And that's kind of been key for us this time round.
Thanks, Samantha. So that's fantastic, some brilliant activity. But as people know, Race Quality Matters are all about the impact. So, John, what impact do you think or hope Race Quality Week will achieve?
Well, hopefully that with the team being embedded in all the workshops and stand-ups that we have, that we engage with greater involvement from areas of the business that wouldn't have typically been involved with the sort of ethnicity network and the activities and events that we would host. So hoping is that those conversations will continue. I think from sort of looking at a stats perspective, the biggest stat that we probably can see from the network, and it's hard to gauge impact through numbers, but we have Slack channel for the network, and from the start of the week we had just slightly over 500. We're currently running at 550, so we've had a sort of near enough 8% increase in the audience for the network already. I'm hoping that will obviously increase further. And then it's just, again, way we sort of delivered the challenges through the Slack post and messaging, just again, the interaction with the emojis and the sort of the threads and messages back again, we can probably collate that and just review that as part of for next year's engagement. But I think the sustaining the sort of conversation through the year, I think that will be basically one of the crux of it all in terms of Race Equality Week, is that can we continue these topics of conversation? And the great feedback has been that there's other network leads from the other employee networks that we have, the LGBT, the sustainability, neurodiversity, have already reached out to talk about how can we collaborate on things like intersectionality, or and actually come up with some awareness pieces about doing events going forward. So again, that's been quite a positive one. And I think the other one is if we have what we call chat spaces, where we create safe spaces to have difficult conversations, to have people view their opinions, but again, making sure that everyone respects each other. So again, making sure we establish those and is actually wider reaching.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. I'm going to ask you both a final question, actually. Just if you can just share 2 top tips of what you'd give other organizations, again, because Race Quarter Week is the start of the year, let's say that. So to keep that momentum going. So Samantha, if I can go to you first, 2 top tips,
Yeah.
please.
I think it's definitely creating that space to actually have those conversations, because the biggest challenge for us that we all found is that element of a blocker of time and allowing, we don't have the time to do this. But what we found is actually, if where possible, engaging the leads in the business, so those senior managers, to actually almost enforce or create some sort of time where those conversations are able to happen. So as John mentioned, we have the chat spaces, which are encouraged then by the leaders to then ask your teams to join that chat space, have an opportunity to, just talk about these different challenges, or how we can, the feedback reflect whatever that looks like. So I'd say one of those is definitely to create, especially for those that are on the call that are in those senior leadership positions, is creating a space whereby your people have an opportunity where they know that it's for them to have that conversation, and it's encouraged by the senior leadership team. Because I think where that every action counts does fall down is most probably when it's not being led in that particular way or encouraged in that way. So that would be one of my top tips. John, I don't know what you...
I think, well, the other one is basically as part of the network, one of the aspects is to help elevate our global ethnic majority colleagues into more senior leadership positions. I think one thing that got identified was, is it a case of confidence, people going forward for those type of roles? And there is a specific program called the Diverse Talent Accelerator. It's not specifically gem targeted program. It's more about building confidence. So those who may in the past may have felt that their background have held them back, maybe their past experiences have held them back, that actually this program will help them come forward on imposter syndrome, understand imposter syndrome, how to manage that, etc., etc. Making sure that we shine a light on these colleagues to say, go for this program. If you want to progress into those senior leadership positions, there should be nothing stopping you from doing that. If it's a matter of confidence and understanding self-belief, then this is a program that we would promote.
Thank you both, John, and thank you both, Samantha, as well. Much appreciated. Thank you all. Okay, fantastic. So building on something that John says about, hearing from other groups, LGBTQ plus, gender network, etc. So what we'd like to do, introduce a new and exciting new solution that we're shaping to the needs of the communities with our founding partner, Green Park, and it's called GP High Cubed. So it's basically to help us learn and understand more, and it's a tool that we can all use, and I'll just go through it first. So if we go to the next slide, so High stands for human and artificial intelligence, and it fuses human insights and AI-driven capabilities together. So it's got both, the best of both sides. It's not from Google or anything else like that. It's from years of data, and some of our insights and intelligence goes into there as well. The cubed element, so for High Cubed, is to accelerate inclusion. It will help augment intelligence and accelerating impact. Okay, so if you need any of these things, this is what GP High Cubed will do. So what it does in a nutshell, it enables you to ask questions you need the answer to about all aspects of diversity and inclusion. So you may be very comfortable about race, but maybe not so sure about sexuality or disability. Sometimes the questions you're too embarrassed to ask about, or I think John was asking, how can I, how can I overcome imposter syndrome? If that's how you feel, that's holding you back. So questions you can do in there. And there's also access curated content, which we'll show in a sec. So GP High Cubed is at the beta stage of development. So you can access it now by taking a screenshot or photo of the QR code, and we'll send it to you after the event as well. Okay. So and I'll show it again a bit later today. So when you do that, it will take you to a landing page. Which looks like on that. And then basically what you just do is go to register. And that takes less than 30 seconds to register, and it's all free. And then you can ask GP High Cubed questions. So there's a chat box at the bottom. So just ask it a question. So the question we put in: how can my team act more? Don't worry about not being able to read it at the moment. How can my team be more active allies? How can we become active allies? And it gives you top tips of how to go about it as a team leader, etc. And then you can just ask more questions, etc. So that's how it works. Also, there's more curated content. So if you need more information or want to go into more things, it's there for you. So have a go at this. So what we'd like you to all to have a go after the event, and then just feedback to us what's good about it, how it can be made better, what's not working. So it's like all our solutions, it's in development. Okay, so that's what it is, and you can use it, just the once or as many times as you like throughout February. So it's in beta test mode at the moment. Okay. What Green Park have also said is they will give us a £30 donation for anyone that feeds out the feedback form. It takes a couple of minutes. How we can make it better. Okay, so up to £3,000, they'll give £30 for that. Okay, if we could just quickly answer this poll, 4 quick questions.
66% of you thought that GP high cubed is a good idea. 60% of you said GP high cubed will help you. 60% of you said GP high cubed will help colleagues become more inclusive. 76% of you will try GP high cubed within the next month.
Let's just show a quick video that we the wonderful Anna and team managed to pull together this week to share with you. Thank you.
Race Equality Week, the 3rd to the 9th of February 2025. Powered by Green Park and Lloyds of London. Hashtag every action counts. Only 37% say their organisation focus on action, not just words. At the beginning of the week, people were feeling drained, demoralised and disillusioned. That's why we need Race Equality Week. The 2025 theme, hashtag every action counts. Over 6,000 organisations took part, reaching over 5 million employees. Across the UK and beyond. And more. What was happening? People and organisations were sharing that they were proud to support Race Equality Week. Race Equality Week events. Events by Race Equality Matters. The opening and closing events, and it's everyone's business and belonging or bust. Events by our community. Race Equality Matters solutions. And a whole lot more, run by organisations and change makers. The Big Promise.
So said that I would report on how we're doing in relation to ethnically diverse talent. I'm really proud to say this year the corporation has achieved 39% of ethnically diverse hires.
And of course, the 5-day challenge. 5 challenges that take 5 minutes over 5 days. This year, over 1,500 organisations took part, reaching over 1 million employees. Done by individuals
doing the 5-day challenge
and organisations.
Green Park was doing the 5-day challenge.
Making an impact. At the end of the week, people are now feeling inspired, engaged and energised. How was your Race Equality Week?
Thank you. So now's your chance to share with each other how your race equality week was. So we're going to get you to go into little groups now, sort of about 5 or 6 minutes, just to share what did you or your organisation do during the week and maybe what your future plans are. When you go in, you won't have time to introduce yourselves. So just go on it. We'll give you a 1-minute warning as well. There's a link in the chat if you need captions to support you during it. So what you'll do is, and if you see any of our speakers join you, they're not there to chair, they're there to listen, learn, and join in just as much. So if you can all go into that, be fantastic. I appreciate some people may not be comfortable so stay on this side, but the more they go there, the more we learn from each other. And you don't all have to talk, but just share with each other thoughts. So we'll see you in sort of 5 or 6 minutes. Thank you. For those that are staying on the outside, if you can go into the breakout, that'd be lovely. If not, stay on the outside and that's fine. If you just want to put in the chat what your organisation did during Race Equality Week and what your future plans, that'd be wonderful. Thank you. Welcome back. An interesting thing in the group I was in, thank you for sharing, was actually there's a bit of momentum and actually there's a wave. And I think it's like, keep on that wave now, keep that momentum going before you get distracted by other things. You've got an appetite and everything like that. So what would be quite good is if people could just put in the chat tips or what they did for Race Equality Week, that'd be really good. So I'll give you sort of 30 seconds to do that. And as I said, you still waiting for when we announce the date for next year's Race Equality Week. Yes, so senior leadership buy-in is quite an important one. You get a lot of people say that it's really helped within section learning about it, but also bring in other networks as well. And we know a race network, or if you're ethnically diverse, that's not you on its own. On its own. Okay, fantastic. Thank you for that. Next slide, please, Sam. So this is the bit where I know as the week's gone on, and those that have been to our 4 events, they know they've made more and more of an effort. Clothes, costumes, hair, glasses, retainers and everything. So this is where we would like to take a photo of everyone. And so if you can have your cameras on, that'd be wonderful. Next slide, please. Okay. So again, if you've got a couple of minutes at the end, we'd just love to sort of get a sound bite to make in our video of how Race Equality Week was for you. Very, very ad lib. That'd be brilliant. If we could just get your a final poll of your observations of the week, and it helps us understand what's working, how we can make things better. We've heard good things from yourselves about the 5-day challenge, which is brilliant.
100% of you would recommend Race Equality Week to others. 97% of you would recommend today's event to others. 84% of you said you learnt something that will help your organisation be more impactful in its actions. 84% of you said you learned something that you wouldn't normally have access to. 89% of you said you would hear or learn something that you would use. 100% of you said it was useful to hear from our speakers. 89% of you joined our breakout sessions.
Can people have a guess of when, just in the chat, when next the start of Race Equality Week 2026 is? Just type in the chat, guess when it is. So we got from today. I like that. I like the thinking behind that. Someone says in February. Someone said 2nd of February. A few people said 2nd of February. October the 1st to coincide Black History Month. That's brilliant. So I'll end the poll because I think people have done that. Okay, fantastic. Okay, next slide, please. So we'll do drum roll. And it is 2nd to 8th of February. So those that got it right, congratulations. Round of applause yourselves. It's always the first Monday in February. So that's one way to remember. So you can put it in your diaries forever and ever, because the first thing we're told, we need plenty of notes. So you've been given a year's notice, everyone. Okay. So that's fantastic. So that's in the diary. So thank you for that. So what's coming up next for you to be aware of? So these are other events that are coming up. So we're going to do a live tea break. We're going to do an event just talk, where everyone can share their thoughts, experiences of microaggressions and how we can tackle it. It's a discussion. As a tea break was originated from Pfizer's organization Network Rail and their Culture Fusion Network, which is part of. But that's free for members, and you can pay if you're not a member. Next slide, please. We got in May, get ready for Race Equality Week, where we start talking about the plans for next year. So there's 9 months notice for you there. Where I also will share more data and more information on what happened this year. So it's a chance to start getting ready for next year. And we'll also ask you your thoughts and ideas of other solutions you might want, or what else could we include in the next 5-day challenge if you found it helpful. Next slide, please. Thank you. And there's a race and series. So this is supported by CMS, and it's intersectionality. So I think we're going to do one on race and social mobility. Again, members can access. We had race and gender last year, and race and neurodiversity. Okay. And then also we've got get ready for Black History Month, ESE Heritage Month, and South Asian Heritage Month. This is a Race Network Leaders thing, so you've got plenty of time. Again, people to share what they're doing for that. And then also, it's not micro. So we're going to run a workshop about how to tackle microaggressions in your organizations. It's really, really, really powerful. I think 92% said it will really help their organization. So again, that'll be coming up soon. Next slide, please. And just remind ways we can help you. So you've got our solutions on the website. Please do access them. Most of them are for free, or become a member. All REM expertise can come in. If you pay double, it won't be me coming in. There you are. How about that? And it's 10% off this week if you want to become a Race Equality Matters member to access all them events for free. And so if you or your organization want to make a donation, no matter how small, to Race Equality Matters, like people donate during Breast Cancer Awareness Month, or International Women's Day, etc. There's a QR code that you can use to help us along. Thank you. There's also a jobs board discount, 30% discount for this week if you want to get that. So all these things, yes, it helps us, but obviously it might help you or your HR people. As I said, if you could just share some thoughts at the end, that'd be wonderful. Must say big thank you, because all this, 99% you've got everything for free is because of Green Park and Lloyd's wonderful support, because they power Race Equality Week. And also big thank you to our other key partners. Huge thank you to our wonderful speakers today, John and Samantha from Autotrader, and Pfizer from Network Rail. I said you'll be able to access their videos afterwards, and we'll share this thing. So the duck in the water. So hopefully this is how it looks like to yourselves, how the week and the events come across from ourselves. Next slide, please. But this is what my desk is like at the moment. So there you are. So I need that thing, but the duck is only possible because of the next slide. And this is behind scenes team. So this is basically the Race Equality Matters team. So we're not 100 people, which some people think. So need to say a huge thank you to. So some of you may have spoken or met some of these people. So Davina has been quite key in getting these events, and I know do a wonderful job with us finding the speakers, qualifying them. Hopefully, they add value and everything like that. And then Anna's made the wonderful video. Sam is pressing the buttons to make sure this goes and keep me on track. And then Chris does the comm side, and Don is also working with a lot of you to help you find out more about membership and stuff like that. So if we could just do a virtual or a physical clap for them, please, because normally in a room there'd be loud cheer and all that stuff. Obviously, we can't hear you because you're on mute, but they are the heart of what happens. So without them, this is not possible at all. But also, big thank you to you and the community for feeding. We take your ideas and we have to play with it. We know sometimes we don't do everything you want, but we do our best. Imagine that. Can I just say all these are aged 18? So you can see some people have aged more in this last week than others. So thank you for that. Next slide, please. So please donate if you want to help us out. And I think that's it. Is that right? So that's a wrap from us for Race Equality Week, our end. I know some of you still doing it and got a couple more days, but that's our events this week. We'll be sending out more messages in the next couple of weeks, a roundup of it, and also what's coming throughout the year. So please do get engaged. Please contact us. Let more organizations, people know about it, because what I've heard today, everyone thinks it's made a real difference. Now, what we don't want is you going to another organization, well, maybe you do, that is not doing it. You can imagine the difference it's making. So, and it's great to see some of you returning for that. So big thank you to all. And if a few of you could stay behind just to do quick sound bites to the camera on Zoom, that'd be fantastic. So thank you very much, and have a good rest of the week all. Thank you.